Our Western way of life. Isn't it grand? Peace, freedom, coffee, and bread. But what if it's not? Friends, in the future, we might have a new episode of Irrelevant Interviews International. So prepare for the future. The future is now.
Hello.
How's it going? I see you
Pretty
made
well.
it in time, Miss Olive. We already have comments from Andre Cool. So that confirms that we are actually online. And we're missing one. Here it is. In the past, I was given a piece of feedback. I was asked to give
Hey.
each of you more time to talk about your own projects. So we're going to get started by introducing ourselves. So I'm going to let you uh, introduce yourselves in any way you prefer, who you are, what you do. My question to you would be, what was your last cosplay? We can get started in the screen order. So let's start with Oni.
Oh no, the pressure. Hi, I'm Oni. I'm a Norwegian cosplayer. I've been cosplaying since 2012, so been in the game for a while. My latest project, the latest cosplay I wore or got was Powder from Arcane, but I think the latest I made was Jace from season 2.
What's your favorite cosplay?
That is a loaded. It depends on the season, but I think at least with my top 3, I don't have a favorite one. It's Faramir from Lord of the Rings, Bilbo from The Hobbit, and I think my last one would be, I think, Jace. Actually, I love Jace.
All right. What about Miss Olive?
Hello, guys. I hope you can hear me well. How was the sound? It's fine? Nice.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I'm Miss Olive. I'm a Latvian cosplayer. I've been cosplaying since 2012, I believe. I can't say what I'm currently working on. It's a little secret. Talking about my most favorite cosplays, I guess that's Mava Miranda. I believe Mava Miranda gave me a huge jump in terms of cosplay, in terms of quality of my craftsmanship. So yeah, it's a Mava Miranda. And I think most people know me by that cosplay.
If at some point you hear some echo, let me know. It might be me. If not, then everything's fine. Gwenny? Oh, we lost her. Are you still with us, Gwenny? All right. While she returns, we can continue with Echoritus.
Hi, sorry, I also have a bit of bad Wi-Fi, but I think it will be fine today. I am a cosplayer for over a decade now. I usually cosplay more casually. Uh, Last cosplay that we both made and I think cosplayed was also Jace. We love Jace in this household. And that's yeah, and I'm even thinking maybe going to WinterCon for all the Latvians and Estonians here to also bring Jace. So that's that.
Let's continue with Lem0n for now.
Okay. Oh, what was my last? My last cosplay was Mona from Genshin Impact, but the last one I worked on myself was Amo from Gachakuta, which was such a hassle with those boots. but we finally got around to it. And I think my favorite cosplay, that's a hard one to pick. There's a lot that have like a lot of sentimental value for me, mainly because of the character, and some have sentimental value because I did them with someone. But I think the Monster Hunter bone armor is probably the one that, yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Monster Hunter. Yeah, I've seen that one. Gwenny?
So, you guys seem like very long time cosplayers. I actually have been cosplaying for like, I guess 3 years now. So it's not like I'm not a cosplay veteran like you guys are from like 2012. That's so cool. That's insane. My latest cosplay was Hu Tao from Genshin Impact, and I think my favorite cosplay of all times would be like Marie Antoinette cosplay I did for like Halloween. I never like posted it or anything because I'm still doing like all the photos and everything, so it's kind of like a small secret. So yeah, or my Columbina cosplay from Genshin Impact. So yeah.
Sometimes I have special editions of this show where I only invite veteran cosplayers. This is not one of them. In my case, you can call me Daimas. I've been cosplaying since 2006, and my last cosplay was Astrid from Skyrim. And my favorite cosplay, it has to be Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat 1. There's something I'd like to ask every one of you. How many of you have participated in cosplay contests? Most of you. This is a new one, but it's something I always like to ask. What's the most outrageous thing you've done on stage?
Okay, maybe it's more like accidental things. I had been in a cos band of Death Note. I was Misa, and we were making this meme-ish kind of performance, and I just dropped on stage, like flat on, and just rolled off. And I didn't realize, but I flashed everyone with my bright blue underwear. It wasn't that visible, but I could see it in the performance video. So that's probably, at least in my current, like, what came to my mind.
For these effects, yes, panels count. Anyone else?
That's a crazy story. I haven't had like unhinged things I've done on stage, but it was also kind of like accidental. I was rushing on stage and I bumped into like the light thingy. And later on, when I came off stage, I bumped into the same light thingy, like again. So it was a bit like, yeah.
A light who hates you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't think it's too outrageous, but I think last time I performed, which was actually with Amo, like last week, was it? I had to look like I was crying, and I didn't know how to get to that point exactly, and I dropped on my knees like 3 times because I was like, yeah, that's gonna get me a little, that's gonna make it work. At the end, I did manage to look like I was crying, and it was because I was in pain from dropping on my knees like 3 times. Not because of the emotionalness of it. No, just straight up, my knees hurt.
That's sad.
I think I have a similar like story, not like outrageous, but more like I injured myself from a cosplay on stage. Was I was competing as Bilbo, and I made like the Hobbit feet, right? And my genius brain was like, I need this secure, so let's use staples. I did not staple it to my foot. It was just how to attach like some elastics to the toes to give like the feet like flexibility, like the toes. But apparently during walking during the day, I had worn down the foam padding. So when I stepped off the stage, I got like the full thing just into my foot, and I couldn't take the feet off during the entire day due to it was latex glued to my feet. So when I took it off, it was obvious that I had been stapled by my own hobbit feet.
For
No,
me, it's
that's a
kind of hard
crazy
to.
story. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. That's very no, because to be honest, I mean, I'm on stage for like 20 plus years since I'm professional dancer, but most of the stories are connected with injuries, and mostly I injured our people, not myself. Yeah, and I think one of the reasons it wasn't a cosplay, it was one of the dancing stuff. So during competition, I was competing, like I was on stage with my students, with my kids, and I actually was so in a rush, I was so such in energy, and I actually bruised one of my students. So poor kid, I hold her wrist too tight while we were dancing, and I literally almost threw her from the stage while we were dancing. So yeah, I'm not the best teacher in this case, but I mean, it's a funny story at least.
Once I got trapped in my own costume. That was the last time I wore my Altair costume from Assassin's Creed. The little belt that he wears on his chest, and it broke. So a friend, what he did was to sew it on me on my own costume while I had it on. So there was no way for me to get out of it. I had to tear it apart again. But in my case, the most outrageous thing I've done on stage was not accidental, although people might have thought otherwise. It was the first time I took out my 47, my Mr. 47 from Hitman. This year, by the way, I've seen new rules on the cosplay contest that didn't exist back then. For example, right now it's forbidden to jump off the stage. That rule didn't exist at that time. I've never jumped off the stage, but I have tossed a friend off the stage. So I was 47 as Hitman, and a friend of mine volunteered to become my victim. And for those who have played Hitman, you know that it's good practice to get rid of the evidence. So once I executed him, the easiest way to hide him was to throw him off the stage. And the crowd went wild after that. But apparently it's not permitted anymore, so those are days that will not return.
That's a cool ass idea though. Like, it's really cool to like just throw someone off the stage.
I don't think we have that rule in Norway. Maybe I can be the reason why we have that rule.
He was a cheerleader, so he was fine.
Tuck and roll.
I have seen. Oh, sorry. I have seen. In like a very local like college con, someone bring in a full mattress on stage to just do a stunt on it to like do a full body tackle. So I don't know about rules about that, but someone did at least use precaution.
Yeah, that's another option. Another question for everyone. What's the strangest material you have used on a cosplay? Or the most unusual object?
I think, at least for the shock value, when I made Faramir, I wanted to have like the most genuine materials. So I like to go through the leathers that I've used. Or like not leathers, but like the materials that I've used. And I always go like through, I've used cow hide, pork, goat, horse. That kind of gets people like, oh, you used horse? Cat? But the cat one is just funny because I was making the beard for Faramir and I had cat hair and I was like, can I add cat hair into the beard? So I ventilated cat hair into the beard and I do not recommend. It breaks very fast.
Let me just
I know.
Google really quick the name of the material that I used. So it's actually the fancy way of saying it is polyethylene foam, which is, it's not like Eva foam. It's really like feathery and bubbly, and it actually goes like under the floor. If you install the floor, you put some like material under it so it won't damage like the structure of the house. So I actually used that in like a lot of my wings and some like props in cosplay. So I guess that's like the weirdest thing. But yeah, I also had to do like feathery brows on myself for some like creative makeup. So I just cut off my own hair and glued it on my eyebrows.
For me, I would say like there's two things. Once for my butterfly wings, I used, this very popular fairy wings for dogs. They can like, flying. So I used that one. So I need like, a base. So I used that one, and also for for wings, but for now ones, I used the material which probably most of the grannies somewhere in where summer houses they covered the cucumbers with that material from the sun. So yeah, like the material which greenhouse is made of. This one. It's pretty light, cheap, and looks like a feathers.
Mm.
Okay, I know Dimas already knows this story because I think I've told it on the show before. But
Is the
probably-
internet okay?
Oh,
I think it is.
Okay, fine, fine.
probably the weirdest material I've used is cinnamon. When I did the pyramid head mask, like the whole thing, I needed to look rusty. So I started looking up like ways I could make it look like the rust with the texture, and somebody said like, hey, you can just like add cinnamon and then like spray it, like safety spray it on. It should stay there. So I was like, hey, this is kind of useful because if anyone stinks at the con, I'm not gonna smell it. I'm just gonna smell the whole cinnamon the whole time on my head like this. It turned out pretty decent looking. I'm always really proud of figuring out cinnamon is the one of my favorite ways to rust things up. But yeah.
Yeah, I had heard that one before. I forgot she has already been in an international edition of the show. About Echoritus.
So yeah, talking about houses reminded me that one of my like first and probably to this day my biggest prop ever, I did Juzo from Tokyo Ghoul, and he has like this big scythe, and we just had like house renovation, so I used a lot of like renovation material And literally, you know how they make walls and they do have that netting and they put it with plaster. I was literally, it's basically was a wall, but then the top was way too heavy. So I went into a shed, found this very, very rusty steel, like kind of like 2 centimeters across, like thick pole that's like used for like yard work. That was about, I don't know, 2 meters longish, maybe less than 2 meters. And I just jammed it in the PVC pipe, so the whole side baited. I have no idea how much, maybe something like 10 kilos. It was very hard, and I was spinning it on stage. And that's not the craziest thing. The craziest thing that they took it to the con on train, by trolley, by another trolley, and another trolley. So I had to go through the trolley doors with a prop that I could stand under. It was so big.
Um,
Now that you mentioned making really big scythes, it reminded me that another weird material I used was stealing the shower curtain rod for another scythe. I used it for Misa's scythe that she uses like in a few manga panels. Like it was finding weird poles in the house is always a fun thing.
Weird poles. Construction materials in general.
it's not really cosplay, but it was like for a school play. I don't remember what exactly I had to do, but I also needed a stick, and I didn't have a stick, so I took like paper tape, I guess, and I just started rolling it, and I had like a meter long and this white stick just made out of tape, and it took a long time, but I finally finished it, and in the end we didn't even use it, so we just have a stick made of tape at school somewhere. So yeah.
I did that for the hilt of my first sword for my Meta Knight cosplay. It's not a stick. It's I don't
Yeah,
remember if it was
exactly.
some tape or what, but it was a very long
Just roll it
roll.
on. Roll it on.
No, I can think of two unusual materials of my own cosplays. One of them is edible, just like Lem0n's cinnamon. I don't like using lights or electronics in general for my costumes. I don't want to deal with the batteries and all that. But I was making a Falco cosplay from Super Smash Bros. And both he and Fox, they have a reflector on their hip that's supposed to deflect the enemy attacks. Then this is supposed to be a light, but this doesn't light up, but it has the glassy look at least. But in reality, this is a pack of jelly. This
So you're
isn't
just like
even attached.
harden it, or
I can take it out, and you can still see the label that says jelly here.
jelly indeed.
That is genius.
Yeah.
The other material I can think of is credit card cutout. When you have an expired credit card lying around doing nothing. And I was making a Jade cosplay from Mortal Kombat. But the bracers that are supposed to be a piece of armor, they were made with vinyl, which is flexible. So to give it some sturdiness, I cut out some credit cards in the shape of, especially for my hand, so that when I folded my hand, the thing would look solid still. Those are the two weird materials that I have personally used on cosplays. When I host an international episode, I like asking, what's the farthest from home you've been in cosplay? Oni?
I've been to Canada.
Canada.
In Vancouver. I went to, it was in 2016, I think. I visited a friend in Vancouver, and she took me to a con in Victoria, which is an island outside of Vancouver. So I felt very small being a tiny Norwegian cosplayer in the big foreign land of Vancouver. Very different cosplay scene, that's for sure.
Anyone
Well, for
else?
me, it's NCC, Sweden.
Sweden.
Where we've been 2 times, yeah. I think we've been 2 times in 2024 and 2025. So yeah, I think that's the farthest.
I haven't got that far. I am from Estonia, so I went to Latvia and then to Finland too, and that's the farthest I have gotten in my cosplay. So yeah, but I really want to like visit all the Scandinavian cons like next year or the year after next year.
Come to Norway! Come to Norway!
I want to go. I want to go. I really want to go. So because I'm gonna make a con tour. So like Sweden, Norway, maybe Denmark too. I don't know. So yeah.
You already got started. You already left the country once, even if it's nearby.
I am pretty similar. I'm from Lithuania, so I have only been to Latvia and Poland. I also do want to go to at least NCC, but sometimes it does cross my mind to go to Dokumi in Germany because I have seen cosplayers from Lithuanian community go there and have great time. So it's in plans, but like work and studies and stuff sometimes don't allow for very long trips for cosplay.
Makes sense. Lem0n?
The furthest I've been to is the States. I went this year, actually in like the beginning of the year. I went to MegaCon Orlando. It was pretty nice. The community is really different from what it is here, it was a whole cultural impact for me to like, first of all, to not know anyone, and second of all, for people don't ask for pictures, which was so weird to me. I was like, is that not common? And then I asked a friend, and she was like, yeah, that's super uncommon in the States. So it was a fun experience, and I'm going to do cosplay in Mexico in like a week or so. Not to an event. I'm just traveling. I was like, I'm gonna take a cosplay. I'm gonna take pictures over there. That's gonna be fun.
Greetings to Danny Choose. In my case, the farthest from home I've been is Estonia, actually. Been there twice. In fact, that's where I met Winnie, right? How long has it been? Did we lose her again? She'll be back.
Yeah, on Jetson.
Oh, Jitsun!
Yeah. Yeah, we met there.
Yeah,
exactly.
the Burning Pumpkin Fest.
That was cool. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, move on. So.
Yeah, I remember you were the interpreter for the other girl. I don't know what she is to you. The only thing I remember you said was
we just
Skolka
met.
cosplayer. I don't know what else.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
but
just
ja nie znаю
like
по-русски.
met. Jag говорю. Нет, yeah. I remember I was like in the Silent Hill nurse cosplay, and I actually haven't played any of the Silent Hill games. And I remember I told you that I want to play them, and I still haven't. So I gotta finish that goal too. I guess it will be my new like 2026 New Year's resolution, I guess, to play all the Silent Hill games, or at least watch the playthroughs. So yeah, I actually feel a bit corny to cosplay like from fandoms that I haven't watched or I'm not in. It just feels a bit like weird. But yeah, it was Halloween and you have to do what you gotta do. So yeah.
All right. While you have been abroad, have you ever had a bilingual moment where you start talking in a language that people don't really understand?
Actually, for me, I have pretty funny story, but it's like otherwise. So it was on NCC 2024, and from Estonia, the contestant, the Enchanted, was where. Like she was from Estonia, and we were talking during all the NCC. We were talking in English because I didn't know if she speaks like Russian. So yeah, and we have been speaking in English for like full 4 days, and only in the very last day, I forgot one word in English. I asked my assistant how it will like ask her in Russian how it will be in English, and when she said like, "Oh, I speak Russian, by the way," I was like, "Dude, why did you tell me just now about it?" So yeah, it was very funny because both of us we didn't know that we both like speak Russian. So yeah.
Anyone else?
I had a small like moment in Latvia. A lot of Latvians know Russian, and I assumed that a person there knows it. And I just started talking to like a cosplayer. I was like, "Damn, your cosplay is so cool," and you know the drill, like basic compliments and everything. And I didn't see like the face because she had a mask on or something, or like very heavy lenses. So I didn't like understand her impression of her not understanding me. And she just stood there and she was like, huh. And then I switched to like English, and then we started talking, and she turned out to be like the sweetest girl ever. So yeah. And turned out she wasn't a Latvian after all, and I just like low key assumed. So happens.
Back to the Burning Pumpkin Fest. What I was asking Gwenny at that time was, how many cosplayers does it take to change a light bulb? Can anyone here tell me?
I would say just one because we're so stubborn we will make it work.
Makes perfect sense.
I have seen like at least 5 cosplayers in one room trying to fix one prop. It takes between 1 to 20.
Takes a community.
Takes a community to change one singular lid.
My new answer to that question is none, because we will just use like our flash or something else, so it's easier and faster.
Turning on the LED on a prop instead of fixing the light bulb.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god,
A
yeah.
headlight.
Temporary solutions.
Yeah.
Anyone else had any bilingual moment?
I have a it not entire like it's more like bilingual that I thought differently. Like I built a sentence in English in the Norwegian way of speaking. So I felt like such an idiot because I was in Canada and I was asking a friend of mine what the time was. But as you would ask in Norwegian, you would be, "What is the clock?" And I kept asking her, and I did not get a straight answer. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "But what is the clock? What do you not understand with what is the clock?" And she's like, "What are you asking about?" Until it dawns on me, I'm like, "Oh, what's the time?" Then I got a reply, but then I was like, "Oh, damn. It's not built the same." That was my...
In my case, I can think of 2 instances, both in Denmark. One of them, I don't know why, but by instinct, I had the reaction to reply in German. That was the first time I went to Denmark. I had made a friend at a convention there. Then when by that time we were leaving and saying our goodbyes, I ended by telling her "Danke," and then I was like, "Why did I say that?" The second one was even worse because, okay, I I have a friend. He has been on this show like twice at least. Then I was meeting him in the real world in my second visit to Denmark. We were talking both in English, but then we were at a convention, so I was in cosplay. Some dude approached me. He started speaking Danish gibberish to me. I don't know what he was saying, but I understood 2 important words: Joker, the character I was dressed as, and Bild, which, since in German it means photo, I extrapolated that it also means Bild. It also means photo in Danish. So just to confirm, after his question, the only thing I said was Bild. Yeah. So yeah, we went to take a picture. Then I returned to my friend, and he asked me, "Did you understand what he said?" Then, since he was my friend and I was already in confidence, for some reason I replied to him in Spanish. Then I stopped. Then and I started once again. No, I understood "build" because that means photo in German and blah blah blah. But I said all of that first in Spanish and then in English.
How many
And
languages do you know?
those two instances were in Denmark. But everything went well. No harm was done. I have another question for you. Have you ever invested in a cosplay element just for the LOLs? Just as a reference that only the fans would understand?
Me personally, no, but I know my friend who was doing Miku, and she just bought like a whole bag of lettuce and she just went on with it. So maybe it's not like a prop, but yeah, it's like Miku and lettuce. Yeah.
Lettuce. Well, it's useful when you get hungry.
I think the closest thing I've did
Exactly,
was
yeah.
that.
So
Oh,
it's 2 in 1.
I think the
No,
closest
talk.
was
Don't worry.
just it's fine. Just printing out like tons of small like item pictures from Stardew Valley when I was cosplaying Harvey with my friend group. So when we met people who liked or like knew who we were, we would just give out like loved gifts from our characters. So it's not really an investment because we used a free printer. but it was funny. It was investment of time into the items.
That's
Okay.
cute. That's mad cute. I'm stealing this idea.
Go on, do it.
Anyone else?
I think.
Mm,
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. Continue.
I definitely have, but I don't remember exactly what, except like I have done like a very specific meme cosplay that's like only like local because we have a singer very famous, like he when he was young he was like a heartthrob, his sexiest man, sexiest singer. Now he's kind of old, and his last name is Mikotavicius. So there's a lot of like edits of him like Miku. So I did Miku version of him. So the whole cosplay was the investment, and I don't know how to use Vocaloid equipment, so I recorded my own voice kind of similarly in like his songs, like in like Miku voice to his songs, like pitched them up a little bit and did a performance to that. So that's and like not obviously not everyone knows that meme, so it's like a very niche cosplay. So the whole cosplay was the investment basically.
So for me, it's nothing like funny or meme, but I think I should think about it in the future. It actually sounds pretty cute and interesting. Um, when I've been cosplaying Ellie from The Last of Us, I made a lot of arrows, and I remember one girl found me during the con, and she said she's a huge fan of the Ellie, so I gave her the arrow, one of the arrow, and she literally crying her eyes out. Poor, poor child, she was crying so much, and so I was like, okay, nice. If I find another girlie who is a huge fan of Ellie, I'll give her the arrows. So I had about like 15 arrows, but I ended up with zero. So I found a lot of small kids who are Ellie's fans. So yeah, and I gave all my arrows to them.
That's so
All right.
cute. That's really cute.
In my case, I have a Link cosplay from Zelda, but even to this day, I don't have a sword. And since I don't like going empty-handed, I go out with this
Dubious food.
dubious food, indeed. Also, back in 2015, I didn't have any Marvel cosplays, but there was this event that they called Marvel Expo, and I was sure there were gonna be X-Men cosplays there. So the day before, I went to the mall and have a T-shirt printed with the logo of the Friends of Humanity, and I made a sign that said "No more mutants." Cheapest cosplay ever.
It's the
Love a
thought
good
that
old
matters.
cheap cosplayer.
Also, I don't have them. I'm not sure if if it counts because I actually use it on my performances. But when I dress as the Joker from The Dark Knight, I always carry with me a photo of Harvey Dent. Some people got really excited when they saw that I was carrying that photo. Not really sure why. One more thing. Have you ever arrived at a convention just to realize you're missing a piece of your cosplay?
Too many times.
Too many times.
I don't think there's a single instance where I've brought the whole cosplay to an event. Something is always left behind. But I think the
Always
worst
something.
instance when I realized while I was in the middle of explaining to judges stuff about my costume. It was embarrassing. It was with the Monster Hunter armor. She has like a bone collar and bone like what would you call it? Well, she has like bones wrapped around here. I did around 100-ish bones for that cosplay. So I was explaining to the judges, yeah, I got kind of like 100 bones. So I have these here and like these and in the back and in the and then I just paused mid sentence, looked at the judges with like just like have you guys seen that one really sad hamster meme? Yeah, that's me looking at the judges real quick for a moment. And I was like, so anyways, the helmet guy. it was embarrassing. I think they for a moment thought I didn't make my cosplay myself because they're like, how does this girl not know how many bones she made? I was just like, they're in the car. They're not even at home. They're in the car. But yes.
I have two instances where I forgot kind of key parts of either costume or props. And there were one was not that high stakes, but the other one was pretty high stakes. And the first one was I was in Switzerland for Polymanga, Global Easter cosplay. And I was so focused, like sewed into this one competition piece that I completely neglected the other costume that I brought, which is Jace. And then when I was putting him on, like makeup and such, and then I'm just sitting there like, did I forget my chest binder? Is my binder stuck in Norway? And it was. So I had to get a sports bra, and I still use it to this day because it does support and press down quite a lot. So it's pretty nice. At least now I know to always remember my chest binder. And the second one was we were preparing for the performance parts of the NCC, and then it dawns on me that the stage props are back at the hotel. And my assistant at that time was so far away from murdering me at that very spot, because that was my one responsibility to bring the stage props. We did get it in time, and it did go pretty smoothly after that, but the realization.
It all went well in the end. It all went well.
My own cosplays have always been on point. I have everything and everything is fine. But I remember after like before like Unicon or something, one of my mutuals and she was performing and she was just like it was also like in another city. So yeah, a girlie went on like a cosplay competition and forgot her wig, and it was like some greenish wig, and she had like blonde hair, so she couldn't even like imitate the wig in some way. So I think that's pretty like bad. But I think she found like some sort of wig in like a party shop or something. But of course, it isn't like the same thing if you style it and do it. And also in prejudging, I think it was pretty like um weird to explain. So yeah, I feel bad for her. I really feel bad for her.
Hmm. Anyone else?
I mean, yeah, both with binder as well and having to buy emergency sports bra, but a lot of small details, especially with Genshin cosplays, like you missed out of vision. Sometimes it's not even like cosplay, but something related like sh- shoes, socks, bobby pins, sometimes makeup, like they have some, but you don't have eyeliner or whatever. Definitely all of those small things because when you go to a con, it's 2 days, but you have to bring basically the same luggage people go for a month vacation because you have to have so many details and so many like things maybe to repair. And I always like back like hot glue gun and like glue and whatever else and like and just pins. So definitely I don't think I have ever like packed it fully like I would want to. I definitely have forgotten a wig when I cosplayed Reki, but like mistook a wig from a bag because both wigs were red, and I took the wrong one. It was with long hair, and I supposed to have short hair, but I just kind of very quickly did a gender bent version, and it went pretty fine, and it wasn't in the competition, so it was also good as well. So cosplayers make do always.
Resourceful. In my case, recently this year, I was planning to take out my Sheol-Gorath cosplay from the Elder Scrolls, and when I arrived at the venue, I noticed that I was missing the wig. I had everything except my wig. Curiously, in my backpack, I was carrying a gray T-shirt. So this is how I ended up looking with my
I
T-shirt
mean,
or a wig.
legendary, show-stopping,
Incredible.
excellent.
That's creative. That's
I
really
have
creative.
seen
That's
this
cool.
photo on your page, I think, Instagram,
Yes, it's
and
ribbon.
I didn't see anything wrong with it actually.
Exactly.
How do I get it off?
This is what we have to look at now the rest of the time.
Yeah.
The main story, the headliner,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
T-shirt wig.
No, let me look for the option. It has to be when I'm sharing the screen. There's a button that says stop sharing screen, but this is not a screen share. This is an image. What if I switch to precisely sharing the screen?
Today's mystery: how to remove the image.
Maybe the image doesn't want to be
Reminds me of cons mashing up the layout of the screen when they
Almost there.
yeah.
Hey!
Well, every day we learn something new.
Exactly.
Another thing, an older story is with my Cyrax from Mortal Kombat. I was at the changing room. I had everything already on me except the helmet. But before putting on the helmet, I need to put on the mask so that the lower part is covered. It's a black mask, a ninja mask. So I was in full armor, and I started looking for my mask in my backpack, in the helmet bag, everywhere, and it was nowhere to be found. I'm not going out like this. So I took everything off again and I went out looking for a friend or someone who could lend me a black t-shirt or something I could put on my face. No one had an extra t-shirt at that time. But near where the guest cosplayers were, there was a mysterious table selling ninja masks. Didn't even have a sign or anything. It was just a few ninja masks on display. Give me the black one now!
No matter the cost, just give it to me.
No matter the cost. Actually, it was an investment because on that weekend I won first place. The mask
Hey.
cost me $10 and the prize was $300. So it was an investment.
How do you get so much money in like money and rewards for a competition?
No, trust me, it's not common.
Okay.
It's not common, but it's one of the organizations that gives like the bigger prizes around here.
Commercial con?
Commercial con. Yeah. This.
No, like it's commercial and like they earn money, so they give more
Yeah,
prizes.
it's a commercial con. But it's called actually MegaCon.
No.
Yeah, we had the second edition this year, but the first edition was when I won first place and all that happened. But now most of their prizes are trips to other countries, other conventions. No cash prizes or 3D printers.
You just get a freak trip.
Yeah,
but
normally it's like an invitation to La Mole, which is in Mexico. I think that was what they gave this year.
yeah, other years it has been to Comic Con Colombia or Comic Con Dominican Republic. But yeah, it's very rare to have a cash prize, and we truly appreciate when someone has some organization has a contest with cash prizes. Now, I've noticed that we're almost 1 hour into the show. There is a couple of questions I'd like to ask you before putting an end to the show. One of them is, what's your favorite thing about cosplay?
That is a loaded question that can take hours to respond to. But at least if I start, in my opinion, I think it's a mixture of the community. At least Norway has a pretty good community, very knowledge based, and a lot of like everyone shares a lot. Like everyone shares what they know towards the other. Like if you're wondering, like, how do I make leather belts? You know who you can go to, and they will gladly teach you. And people running the conventions are all lovely, and I think at least the way to express myself, like creatively, like making things, so using my hands, I can have my silly little ideas on the stage. I can meet people who are more nerdy than I in some certain degrees, which is always very nice to meet those kind of people. So it's just, cosplay is a fantastic hobby of just the creative and social aspects of like being a nerd and doing things, at least for me.
For me, I would say it's, first of all, yeah, as Oni said, it's community. I think cosplay community is the best community all of communities could be, because I think the cosplay community is the friendliest out of all the communities, especially since I um living between two communities, the dancing community and the cosplay community. Yes, cosplay community much way friendlier. Yes, and also of course it's a possibility to go on stage, and you when you are a dancer, for myself, yes, I have to follow particular rules as a dancer, as a choreographer. But when you're a cosplayer, when you go on stage, technically you can do whatever you want to on the stage, absolutely. And it's pretty cool that, especially when you're a creative person and and you have a lot of crazy ideas in your head, and you can do wherever you want. So if you want a 2 meters long prop on stage, yeah, let's go. Or 3 or 4 meters, I don't know. If you want a lot of people on stage, yeah, let's go. You can do absolutely wherever, and it's super cool and fun. That's why I love cosplay. Yeah.
I actually really agree with Miss Olive, as I am also a dancer. I have also danced all my life, professionally and not so professionally. So it's actually true. You have endless possibilities, and I just love to be on stage. So whenever I have like an opportunity to talk or perform or do anything like lectures, panels, whatever, I love to do it because I like to inspire other people with also cosplays. Like when I look at other cosplayers, I'm like, damn, you can do that. That means I can do that too. It's possible. So I want to like inspire other people to also think that way and think that way when they see me. So yeah. And I also like the idea of expressing myself through anything. I can put on a wig and black contacts and just do whatever I want. And the community also plays a huge part of it. We are all very supportive of each other. So it's the best. So yeah.
For me, as well as everyone said, is the community. Yes, every community has its hiccups and rumors and gossip and whatever, and drama. But there's definitely cosplay friends that are like very niche. Some become your real life friends. Some you know for years, but only in cosplay. So you're motivated to keep up online and go to cons to just meet them. Uh, and I think a lot of people forgot the play part of the cosplay. Costuming has been both accessible for bot cosplays, and so many people, at least in my community, grew so much, and they making even bigger, better costumes with 3D printing coming out as a way to do cosplays as well, like for props. So the play part is definitely gave me the best memories when I was just chilling and cuddling on the con floor with random people when I was in karaoke, because like some cosplayers did a club that we have like in Baltics in Lithuania. We have a cosplay karaoke that we go to. It's like exclusive club. You have to be like invited, but it's like very fun. So the play, especially as we like get older, at least me, I think cosplay community is still maybe not online, but you in real life, definitely accepting of all ranges and of all skills. And when you find the balance, you can uh, know how much you want to invest, how much a lot or how little do you want to do it professionally or semi-professionally. Do you want to like challenge yourself to go and win contest, or just to perform on stage even with bot cosplay, or be very casual thrift cosplay? It's so creative and so expansive on what you can do, especially with the transformations, because there's no same cosplay of the same character. Everyone does their own spin on it, uh, even if it's the same character, and you just prolong the life of the fandoms you're in. Even with like you can see that fandoms rising up just because someone made a very good cosplay. So like Oni said, there's so many, like you can talk for hours about why cosplay is a thing that's personally I even like pretty casually. I cosplay more, cosplay less, but I always come back to.
It's there's so many things I love about it. The community is definitely one of those things. I absolutely love the people I have managed to meet through this community. I even with its ups and downs, I feel like getting to know so many people with the same interests, knowing that these are stuff that when I was in high school, people would tell me, but like that's such a weird interest of you. And I was like, and now having a community that shares those same interests is always so nice. But I feel like lately, um, lately another big part of the excitement of doing cosplay for me has been the people that react to my cosplays that are non-cosplayers, especially, like it's this started happening when I did Columbina from Genshin Impact, and a little girl approached me and she was like, "Oh my god, an angel!" And I was about to sob. And I think that's been like such a motivator for me, especially because my little sibling, he's getting into cosplay. He's only 10 and he's already telling me like, I want to cosplay from One Piece, and I'm like, you know what, buddy? That's my new motivation. I'm doing all the One Piece cosplays you want with you. So that's been my greatest motivator in cosplay lately. Seeing the joy of people starting to join the community or experiencing the community from another lens. It's been one of the nicest things that I've found in the community in the last few months.
When Gwenny said that about you can do that and you can do that too and I can do that too, it reminded me the reason why I have a Jade cosplay from Mortal Kombat. There were two cosplayers in the past. One of them was a huge bodybuilder girl who could fit any fighting game character because she was a mountain of muscle, and she had a Jade cosplay precisely. The other cosplayer was some guy that just by the looks you couldn't tell if it was actually a man because of the way he moved his hips, the way he wore makeup and lenses, and he looked good in his Jade costume. So that's when I was like, if they can do that, I can as well. So that's one of the things that Gwen reminded me.
Exactly.
But in reality, my favorite part of cosplay, just like Olive, is the possibility to go on stage, the applause of the audience. And if you're curious, this is how I looked as Jade.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Damn.
Love the padding.
Ooh. I also want to interject that what I saw that's cosplay community is actually very open to gender bending and thus very open to queer people and trans people, and at least in my experience, and definitely a lot of other hobbies, if they're not like drag, that's already based in queer culture, is not always that accepting. And in cosplay, it's like very usual to meet openly trans people or queer people, or just people who like to play with gender and like do gender bent cosplay. So it's also very amazing that that's what comes from the community.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree.
I don't know if it's me who's having connection issues or if it's one of you. Right now it's fine. but I've been having some hiccups. In any case, I'm not gonna take much more time from you. I only have one last question. If you could choose one person you would think would accept being on this show, who would it be?
I mean, any Norwegians would love to. Norwegians love to talk about cosplay. But I would maybe think Sahara Sara cosplay, Norwegian cosplayer. She's representing Norway in the NCC next year. Amazing.
Send me the username so that I can find the right person.
On Insta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
I'm not sure if maybe she already been here. I'm not sure. Also talking about NCC, that's why I just yeah, memorized. It could be Enchanted cosplay from Estonia. She will be representing NCC this year from Estonia. So yeah, she's amazing. Just
She's a
my
lovely
hero.
person.
Yes, she's a queen.
I also thought about her.
In fact, I had contacted her, but I received no reply. I don't even know if she actually read the message.
I can ask her. I can write her.
I would say a person that comes to mind is Vivo. Like the handle is Vert Vivo cosplay, and they're like very talkative. So I think they would really appreciate to be like on the show. So yeah. Vivo is a very cool person too.
I already spoke to Vivo. She did give me a reply. She likes the show, but she's not willing to appear here.
Also, I've been thinking about. Okay, I keep promoting Baltics, but not Latvian cosplayers. I think I'm fake Latvian. Sleepy
I was
Mo from
about to say
Lithuania.
bonus points if it's not from your own country.
Oh, I can hold money.
Do you know
I've been
that?
thinking about Sleepy Mo from Lithuania. He's been representing if Lithuania on how it's called Easy Water, and took the best costume also on I Europe Cosplay Cup. I forgot the name of a contest. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassing. But yeah, so Sleepy
E2C.
Mo. E2C, yeah. E2C,
Yeah,
yes. And
I also wanted to tell about him because he's like so young and so extremely talented. Already has so much experience, so much wins under his belt. So he could definitely be like interesting interviewee. I know already that you have contacted Batato because she also told me that she might appear. So that was my second nominee.
Yeah, she wasn't available for this date, but she agrees to be here. And we have greetings from Shizuka Nazawa. Hi there. Yeah, in the past, I've had Norwegian cosplayers, Latvian cosplayers, Estonian cosplayers. I've really had bad luck finding a Finnish cosplayer. That still hasn't happened here. I've also had
I'm
bad luck
sorry,
with
but I
German
have to
cosplayers. I've only
go.
had one. That's why I was about to say bonus points if it's someone away from your own country.
I'm really sorry, but I have to go. I have something that just happened.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait,
We already came to the
Yes,
end of the show.
thank you so much
We're
for having
looking-
me.
hey, thank you for being here.
Yep. Now,
Yeah, it was
I'm
nice
just gonna
talking to you.
cut the transmission. You may stay here if you want. All I'm gonna say is what I always say: everything is relative except that which is absolute. In that case, it'll be absolutely relative. I'll see you in the future or in the past.